Welcome to part 3 of your 2-point perspective house. And so for this part, we're going to make it look like your windows and doors and structures actually have like depth and dimension to them, and that the windows and such are inserted or inside of the wall and not just drawn on top of the wall. Okay, so we need to make one last decision about what you want to go up here. So I'm definitely going to have a door that lines up with this one. But what we need to do is to draw the inside of this area before adding windows and doors. So it's very similar to what we're going to learn for the indentation of the window sills and the windows to make them look 3D. So we have these little interior corners, and so when you're drawing the inside of something, it actually uses the opposite of, or the opposite vanishing point that structure does. So this window uses the right vanishing point because it's on the right hand side of this main corner. So it goes to the right vanishing point. So the inside of something on the right wall, the inside of it is going to go to the left vanishing point. And then the opposite is true. On the left side, the inside is going to go to the right vanishing point. So it's very similar to what we did for the roof lines here and over here, where we used the opposite vanishing point. Okay, so we're going to take this corner and we're going to line it up with the right vanishing point. And my ruler is too short, so I'm going to use my strip of poster board. And I'll probably go about an inch in, or an inch in length-ish, about an inch or so. So that angle goes all the way to the right vanishing point because we're going to draw the inside of this structure like it's indented. Okay, so then we're going to do the same on this side, except for we're going to use this corner lining up with the right vanishing point. I'm sorry, left vanishing point, because we're on the right-hand side of the structure. So right-hand side of the structure, inside corner uses the opposite vanishing point. So again, about an inch longer. So we want them to be about even looking. Okay, then we're going to cut off. And so actually I'm going to cut off this one a little bit closer. I'm going to have it line up with maybe that structure. If you can, it doesn't have to. You're just going to make a judgment of where to vertically cut it off at. Okay. I'm going to erase my extra angle. Okay, so then at this point, it's the underside and the inside. So the outside uses the left vanishing point. The inside, these two would be parallel to each other, use the same vanishing point. Okay, so now we have the inside, the roof. We're going to leave this open. We're going to make it a balcony. We'll put a railing on it later. All right, so over here, I want it to be about the same, like distance. So I'm kind of measuring that angle, about an inch or so. So I want about an inch or so angle over here. I'm going to give myself a little guideline. If you want to eyeball it, you totally can. So then I'm going to cut it off vertically. I'm checking my spacing, my ruler's lined up, checking my spacing here, here. Okay, it looks vertical, cut off, erase. Okay, so the outside uses the right vanishing point, so therefore the underside would use the same vanishing point. So I'm using the right vanishing point. And it should look somewhat even here. I'm losing that line. Okay. So now I think I at least want a door. I think I'm going to do like just all the rest kind of windows, like that open concept that Frank Lloyd Wright had going on. But I definitely want a door. So maybe actually I'll put the door on this side. So this is to the left of the corner. So anything I'm adding on here is going to use the left vanishing point on the wall. Anything I'm adding here will use the right vanishing point. So I'm just going to do like a single door top. Okay, so now I'm going to continue and do like my wall of windows. Windows. I'm going to do the bottom of the windows. Okay, So I have my top and bottom of windows, I have the top of the door, and now I'm going to do my vertical cutoffs. So we wouldn't be able to see the bottom of the door because the balconies kind of overlap it. And I'm going to let it continue and end behind that post. Then I'm going to use that as a guideline over here to know where to start. So now the top and bottom of the windows on this side, I'm going to line up with the right vanishing point because it's on the right hand side. Okay, I'm going to do the bottom. And I'm going to cut off on this side. So that will become my wall of windows, and then we'll decide how to divide it later on. And we'll design the door later on. Okay, so now we're going to take this same concept of if it's above the eye level or horizon line, you're looking up at it. So I have my horizon line. I'm looking up, and I can see the underside. If I'm looking down, I would be able to see the top part of the windowsill. It's on, so I'm looking up, looking down. Okay, then I asked myself, what side is the window on? Okay, this one's on the right-hand side. Notice how I can see the right-hand side. This one's on the left-hand side. Notice that I can see the left-hand side. So you just have to kind of check yourself before you draw something on there. Okay, so we're going to start over here. We're going to indent the garage opening so it looks like it's recessed or inserted into the wall. So we're going to use this little corner, and we're going to line it up with the left vanishing point because this is on the right-hand side of this corner here, right-hand side of the structure. Okay, so I'm going to line up my long strip. I'm going to make a little tiny interior angle. And remember, draw super lightly. I'm drawing heavy and dark so you can see it. I'm going to cut off the inside vertically. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the new bottom. I'm going to line up with that angle I just drew. Then I'm going to erase that original side. So now it looks like it's indented. Later we'll shade it to make it look more real. Okay, so that's below the eye level. So these two windows are above the eye level. So therefore, the little angles are going to go from these two corners, because we'll be able to see the right-hand side because it's to the right of this corner, and it's above the eye level or above the horizon line, so we're looking up at it. So these two windows will be very similar to this one, where we can see the top and we can see the side, just not as thick because this part is pretty far away from us. So I like to do all my little angles at once. So I'm going to line up my corners with the left vanishing point. All right, then I'm going to do my vertical cutoffs, and I want to make sure that this side is slightly thinner than this side. And I'm going to kind of line it up with the garage anyway. So then the tops, this line, the top went to the right vanishing point, so the top inside would also go to the right vanishing point. So that's what I'm doing on a small scale. I like to do all the tops at once because they line up with each other. The inside should line up with each other. Okay. All right, so then we're going to do this door. So it's to the right of this corner, so therefore we should be able to see the right hand side. We're going to use this opening for our little baby angle. We're going to line it up, And I want it to be a little bit wider than this interior side because now this part's closer to us. Okay. I'm going to cut off vertically, double checking my ruler at the bottom of my paper, double checking my spacing. Is it a vertical line? Okay. So now the new inside at the bottom is going to line up from this angle with the right vanishing point. Okay. So I'm going to erase that original side. So you guys remember, I am drawing heavier so that you can see it. You should draw super lightly. Okay. I already did that door. So this bottom little angle goes to the right vanishing point. Then you draw that little interior angle, cut off vertically, and then the inside line lines up with the left vanishing point. So this little baby angle right here, because now we're on the left-hand side of the corner, over here we'll be able to see the left-hand sides of everything. So that little baby angle does go to the interior angle, goes to the right vanishing point. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do these two windows. They are below our eye level, and they're on the left-hand side of the building over here. So we have left-hand side below. We'll be able to see the left side and the inside and the bottom because it's below the horizon line, below the eye level. So that little interior corner for this one, and I'm going to guesstimate my corner like behind the pillar. If you actually ended your window and you can see the edge of it, use the bottom left-hand corner. All right, those little interior angles are going to go to the right side, right vanishing point. And I'm going to just guesstimate that one. Okay. All right, then I want to do my vertical cutoffs, and I want this opening to be slightly smaller than that one because this part's further away. Okay, now I can see the bottoms because it's below the horizon line, below eye level. I'm just going to do the bottoms lined up together. So they should line up your little corners. That way you can mass produce, less drawing. Okay, so this top one, I have this top door. I can see the top part because it's above the horizon line, above the eye level, and it's to the left of the corner. So I'll be able to see the top and then the left-hand side. So that little baby corner, this one, is going to line all the way up with my right vanishing point. The opposite vanishing point. Okay. Then I'm going to cut off vertically. And I'm going to do the top to the left vanishing point because that's what the wall uses. That's what the top of the window uses. Or door. It's actually going to end up being a door. Okay, so on this one, I can see the top and the left-hand side. So same thing. I'm going to use my right vanishing point. Little baby corner. And I'm judging my thickness, like how thick was the opening for the door here? About the same. How thick is the window here? Okay, so kind of make sure it's smaller here and bigger on your, the closer you get to the corner. Okay, so the top, I can use my same vanishing point that the wall uses, which is the left, and then vertical is always just vertical. Over on here, now we're on the right-hand side of the corner. So the little baby interior angle of the window, we're going to use the left vanishing point to draw the inside. Okay. So then I'm going to cut it off vertically. About the same thickness, maybe a little bit wider because it looks like we're actually closer to this side. And so the top inside goes to the right vanishing point, because the wall uses the right vanishing point, the opening used the right vanishing point, and so it's all parallel to each other. Okay, so now we have made our windows and doors look more three-dimensional. And now the next part, in part 4, is going to be to start adding details and kind of personalizing it. So we'll go over what's required and what's optional. In the next part, we're also going to add walkways and driveways and all that good stuff. Okay, so stay tuned for part 4. You are now finished with part 3.